Hello, welcome to News Direct, the podcast. I'm joined here by somebody that I met, I think probably about 15 years ago, when she was the head of Castledyke Primary in Barton. And she's been around the education system for a long time. So we're trying to use the podcast to be able to get real inspiring stories, people who've lived a life, who've just, because not everybody's like they are on the telly, are they? Not everybody goes on to be an influencer. No. Everybody gets to, you say that, Rosie, but you never know. We might both end up being influencers.
Well, you never know, as you say.
So it's my great pleasure to have Rosie Pugh. Hello, Rosie.
Hello, good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
pleased to be here. Thanks for asking me.
Well, I think there's a bit about... nearly 52% of our population are young women. So, women across all ages, but obviously a good proportion of them are in that younger category. And I want younger women to see that actually you can do all right in life, and you can get to the role of head teacher, and you can then go on, retire, have another life, do another interesting things as you find it. So, Rosie, tell us what it was like for you growing up. Where did you grow up? What school did you go to?
I was a Brumby kid.
Yeah.
I was born in Scunthorpe, and I went to Frodingham Infants.
Oh yeah.
Which is
it's the same building,
nice. It's a nice school, and then I went to Brumby Junior Girls.
Yeah.
It wasn't mixed then.
No.
The boys and the girls, there was like a quadrangle, and the boys were on one side and the girls were on this side, and never the twain shall meet. So I went there, and then in secondary, it was the year everything changed in school. The comprehensive, all the schools changed completely, and I went to Brumby, which had previously been Brumby Boys.
Oh, okay.
And I was in the first year of girls. There were 36 girls only.
Yeah.
And the rest of the school was all boys. And it was a fairly tough school.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was at the time when I was there, but looking back, I think it was quite tough. I lived on Hampton Road, which was just down from off Cemetery Road.
Yeah,
down,
of course, yeah.
And in one of the prefab houses.
Yeah.
We were a fairly chaotic family, really. My mother, her first husband had been killed in the war, and she'd got 3 girls. They were very young.
Yeah.
And my father, he had 4 children. And his wife died of cancer. So my mother was living in Grimsby, and she couldn't manage on the widow's pension.
No.
And so she responded to this advertisement, probably in the Telegraph or the Star or somewhere at that time, and to be a housekeeper for my father. And so all these kids converged upon this house.
Yeah.
And then
how big was the house? It wouldn't be very big.
There were 3 bedrooms. Saying the layouts, that they've been done up very much more nicely now.
Yeah, yeah.
But they were relatively small. The garden was big, but so we had all these kids, and then they got married after a couple of years, and 3 more kids came. Me being the oldest, my sister Elizabeth, and then Robin, my brother.
Yeah.
And then my father left us all. So he left. I don't blame him or bother about him, because I never think about him, because I was only 4. But he left his own children
as well. Yeah.
To the wicked stepmother. It was really, really, really bad time. She couldn't really cope.
No.
All these children. And then some of them, his boys went into care.
Oh.
So, and we always lived on social security. I was always eligible for free school meals and clothing grants and, everything. But she was quite a proud little person, and she didn't really, I never, when people say, oh, people who live on benefits are living the high life.
Yeah.
Well, in those days, or whenever days, it wasn't.
No. No, it certainly wasn't then, was it?
We were poor, really. We were pretty poor.
Did you have a different queue to line up in for your free school meals?
No.
Yeah, we did. I remember mine, we did. We had a tag.
You see now, oh God, it's just so appalling, really.
Yeah, it
is.
Yeah, there was none of this awareness of how people felt or anything. You were just in the cheap seats. So
For ages, when I went to the infant school, my mother tried to pay the £5 a week, and she could only pay it when she got her money on a Monday, because she never had any money left on Sunday night.
No.
Sundays was a poor day. And the teacher used to make me, and she was always late.
Yeah.
She never got there till God knows what time, till the post office had opened, and she'd got. And the teacher used to make me stand at the window and watch for her.
Really?
I mean, what would be the point?
Yeah.
It was because it annoyed her that she couldn't get her.
Close the register down and mark it all up. So obviously you grew up in a big household where you were having to rival for affection a bit, was you?
Yeah, it was a bit, because now I see parents and they're always hugging and they give their kids a kiss and all that. I wasn't like that. My mother was quite old when she started having this second family. Yeah. And we didn't really do too much like that. She loved us, but she wasn't
in her own way.
You rush up and hug people, or that was not the way it was. And I was the oldest of the three. Yeah. So a lot fell to me. Yeah. My 3 elder sisters, they quickly got married and left. Obviously, I mean anybody would do, wouldn't they? Kind of. And they subsequently they all went to Australia. Oh, really? £10 poms and the lot, because really there wasn't anything.
There weren't a lot of opportunities.
No, everybody worked on the steelworks, or the men all worked on the steelworks. Yeah. And then there was Cora's factory down on Scotter Road, or there was also. But really, and when I think now, I mean, one of my sisters who worked for Co-op Milk and all that. Yeah. She ended up being the manager of a children's, of an old people. She looked after old people and did all sorts of activities with them. And all sorts. And got a really good job. The other one worked in a lab, and one became a nurse. Yeah. And trained and everything. And they wouldn't have done that, Rob, if they'd stayed here. It was not the land of opportunity. No. And Scunthorpe wasn't.
No, I think there was always stories that people went into the typing pool. Yeah. You know, that was seen as a good job for women, as you say. In those days, probably it was get married and not think about, you know, a career, or the job was secondary because you'd got another job, or when the kids were growing up, I suppose you did a job that suited around being around the kids if you got a chance. So what was school like for you then? So obviously you went to, as you say, you're one of these 30.
I went to Brumby, and as I say, Brumby was an okay school, but it was not a good school. No. When I've been to it since, and when I won the award thing, I was invited to speak at one of their, evening things for the kids now, and I was astounded. And the kids seemed pretty happy there, and people seemed to do well. I remember being that one of the teachers took it upon himself to do these careers things. He wasn't a careers person, he was a French teacher, but he said, what are you going to do, Rosemary? I said, well, I don't know. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. But I want to do some. I'm going to the sixth form college. Yeah. Because I knew I didn't want to. I'd had a Saturday job in the precinct. Yeah. God, you always had to do the cleaning up and all that. And I thought, having that. I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I had no ambitions to be anything particular, but at that point. And he's just looked at me and he said, further education is suitable for some people, but not all. Have you thought about getting a job? I thought, you think, oh, get off. Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah.
Why do you think you know anything about me?
Yeah.
And what I can do and what I can't do.
So did that make you more determined?
Yeah, well, I just dismissed him. I just with a flick of, I thought, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know me.
No.
I mean, as the oldest child, I've been babysitting since I was about 11. I've been bringing in all the shopping stuff. I've done loads of things. My mother went to visit in Australia when I was, what would I be, 17. And I looked after the other 2 kids. And I had to get one of the, the books that you take to the post office and they stamp it and they give you
the money. And you signed the back of the form, didn't they, if they weren't there?
Yeah. Well, I had to have a social worker come and see me to see if I was capable.
Yeah.
All this. Anyway, so the lucky thing, sometimes fate helps you,
Yeah.
When I was a teacher, and when it was the old days of Humberside.
Yes.
And and all the education stuff. It wasn't that good.
No.
All the education courses and stuff were in Hull. I can't remember where the place was called, but we all had to trek to Hull all the time for everything. I happened to go one day for a course, and in the canteen is this guy who said that to me. And I'm dressed up, and everything. And so I thought, oh, aye, that's him. So I come up, and he turns round and smiling and then he starts talking. And he remembered who I was.
Oh, did he?
He did. And he was, of course, he's trying to be all pally and stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what prompted it. I was just waiting for him to make a mistake. And he said something. And so I said, oh, yes, you don't remember. Oh, you've done well for yourself. That would be it, yeah. So I said, oh yeah, you don't remember what you said to me when I was in school, do you? Well, he just absolutely deflated.
And did he remember?
No, he didn't remember saying that,
No.
I'm sure, I said, yeah, you definitely said, just a few things, you don't forget what people say.
Yeah, but you have to be, I think, really, if you're in a position like that, you have to be really aware of how whatever you say lands with people, don't you? Because it's back to this point, we were having a conversation before about emotional intelligence. You don't just get to have an opinion. Anybody can have an opinion. It's like, they're worthless, aren't they? But it's actually how they make other people feel sometimes. And so you went through school, you went to John Leggett?
I went to sixth form college, and that's where I learned how to learn. And I actually learned that I liked learning. Yeah. And I've never stopped learning since then.
Yeah.
Even now I do my French every day. And
what did you do then? So what did you do at your A-levels?
No, I did some O-levels, did a whole sheaf of O-levels again.
Yeah.
And it was there that they said, had the proper interviews with the...
Yeah, with the right people.
And they said, what are you going to do? And again, you see, a bit short term, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'll have to say something. So I said, what are those people who look after little kids, And so the lady said, oh, nursery nurses. I said, well, that's it then. We'll do that. And so I was successful because by the Christmas when I was at the sixth form college, I thought, oh, you've been doing this wrong.
Yeah, you become
this is not how it works.
Yeah.
You ain't going to get any good unless you change all this stuff. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
I got all the I got a prize even. So, and I went to Halifax. I got a place to go to college because there was nothing here.
No.
And I did 2 years there. I'd met my husband by then, who was to be, and I did all right there. I came back home. We got married.
Yeah.
We've been married for 50 years next year.
Wow.
It's a hell of a time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and then I got my first job, which was at Ridding's Nursery, which was just opening. It was that and Frodingham Infants were the first nurseries to open in Scunthorpe.
Oh, right.
and it was it was good there. But then when I got there, you look around, you think, and I had there were some lovely teachers, some really good ones. But then I thought, I could do that. I could do that.
And you got a bit more confident.
So, and also my husband, he'd been doing his degree because he taught at Rumby then.
Yeah.
That's really weird, going to the staff do.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And you've only been left for a few dancing with...
people who were your teachers.
But you have to deal with it, don't you?
You do.
So I decided to do Open University. So I did that, 6 years. It took me
6 years?
It's what it takes if you do one unit. And I was working full-time all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I did some education, philosophy, lots of different ones. It was really good.
So what was you doing? Your degree was in education?
I was in all sorts, history, and all, you can choose.
Okay.
And I got my degree, and then I went to. I thought, right, I can do something different. But by that time, I knew that I wanted, and now that I would be able to be a teacher.
Yeah. So
I applied to Hull for the 1 year teacher training course.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of support for that, there was a lady that worked, I think it was way before your time, Kath Rollinson.
I know the name. Yeah,
she was the senior advisor.
Yeah.
And she was very supportive. She came and saw what work I did in the infants, and she talked to me about it and stuff like that. And everybody said, oh, you'll get in. They'll be glad to. No, not quite. Because at that time, I was 30 by then, so I was pregnant with my eldest.
Yeah.
Plan being, the baby would be born, and then in the October, I would go for the years. In my mind, it's all worked out.
Yeah.
So I'll go for the interview. I got a big coat on. The 80s coats with big collars. Came around big. And of course, they never asked me to take it off.
No.
And we got all through the interview. It was the lady who was in charge, local head teacher, and another one of the department heads.
Yeah.
And then the lady said, oh, well, at least you haven't got any children. Because that would be helpful for you, because it's, it's hard work and all the rest of it, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
So then I thought, I can't lie. I just can't do it. It's not right, is it? So I said, well, actually, I'm having my first child now, and they'll be born fairly soon already. And I don't know if you've ever been in this situation. You probably have.
The mood changes.
And it just went still.
Yeah.
And nobody spoke. And they just looked at me. And then the lady said, well, you do know there's 9 written of Samson, there's this and blah, and the 2 that... And I said, yes, I've read the thing. And then again we get the little comment that says, well, I wouldn't have been able to do it with a new baby. And and so again, but I didn't say, well, you're not me, Mrs. But
you felt like
that's
that.
what. And I knew as soon as I went out that I hadn't got a place.
Yeah.
And I think the letter came the next day or the day after saying there's no place.
And it'd never happen now, would it? Well, you'd hope it wouldn't.
So I was really, really mad and upset.
Well, yeah, and you told the truth as well, which is.
But also, a lot of expectations were high, so everybody would come, like you would say to me.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You got in there and say, oh, no, not really. Anyway, Kath Rollinson spoke to me and said, what happened? So I said, well, they're just absolutely, I don't think you're even allowed, even in them days, you weren't allowed to say things. I said, all they were interested in was like that I was pregnant and that would be too difficult for me. I said, I'll have to apply to Lincoln or somewhere and try and find a different place. Hull was my first choice, obviously.
Yeah.
Anyway, a few days after that, another letter came saying, it didn't give any excuse, just said you've got a place. And I thought, this is weird. So I rang up Kathy and she said, oh, yeah, she said, I thought they might change their mind. Anyway, when I started, the boss of the whole thing, Vera Weiss, took me on one side and she said, I'm putting you in my group so we can keep an eye on you, really.
Yeah.
And I said, so why did you take me in the end? She said, well, if the senior advisor for North Links rings you up and tells you should have this person, you have them. Anyway, I got a distinction.
Yeah.
One of only 2.
Yeah.
On the course, so I didn't let anybody down, really.
No.
And then I went to work at Bottisford Infants.
Oh.
And again, I must be ambitious, but you don't feel as if you are, do you? When
you just do
think,
it.
oh, what's happening? What's the next bit? And I worked, and it was lovely there. It was such a nice school. Kids work so hard, and I mean, parents are parents. That can always be difficult if but lovely parents, lovely kids. One of my really, the kids now, when you see them now, they've all gone on to do really good things, and they were lovely. And at the time I moved up there, and I got to be deputy. And I did acting head for a term. And I applied for the Headteacher, but I didn't get it.
No.
So then, which was good really afterwards. I was disappointed, you're always disappointed, but only for a short time, you look around.
Yeah.
And I applied for the one at Wintringham.
Okay.
And I was lucky really, and I got that.
And how long were you there?
Oh, short time.
Times, yeah.
Short time. I went, and Winteringham's a lovely school.
Yeah.
Really good people were, again, nice kids, nice parents. My husband did loads of work there. He did a lot of, putting in sinks in place because he's got no money, of course.
Yeah.
And it was just the start of the devolved budget.
Yeah.
And I remember what was the director of education, and he was new then, and he came to see me after we'd had an Ofsted, and it was a good Ofsted. And I don't remember his name now.
David, was it David?
No.
Oh, yeah, I think I probably do know, but I can't think of the name. Yeah.
And
not Mike, was it?
No. Anyway.
Yeah.
I was there, and he looked around and said everything that he said, what are you going to do next? I said, I don't know, it will be a bigger school probably. I said, but I don't know what you need to get a bigger school. He said, so why don't you look? And I thought, well, and Kroll was up. So I thought, what I'll do is I'll just send for the details, and then I can see, the usual essential, highly desirable.
Yeah.
And by that time I'd started doing a master's. So I was well on with that, and I can't remember if I'd finished it. I might have done. And so I sent for the details, and the only thing I didn't have was extensive experience at Key Stage, because remember I'm still only a few years from teacher training, really.
Yeah.
Not that far. And I thought, go for it, I'll see what they say.
Yeah.
And I got it, you see, and I thought, heck. And so I went to Kroll.
We just met one of the little boys you taught there, and he actually said, is it Rosie? I was like, yeah.
And we had a good time there, because again, it wasn't the most difficult school, and we had good staff. I had some tremendous staff there. Some TAs. They should have been paid lashings more money. I've really had some excellent staff, all through the years. They've really worked for kids. And so then we had all we built things, we seemed to be doing well. And then one day my deputy came to me and said, have you seen this? And I thought, the head teacher of the year stuff and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I said, oh, aye, well, yeah. She said, oh, you could get this. I said, oh, I'm not bothering with stuff like that. We're too busy for messing about. I said, and I was in the back of my mind thinking, they don't go for people
like you.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, she said, I said, well, if you want to do it, you do it.
Yeah.
So she filled the whole thing in, sent it off, and then they came for their visit and all the rest of it. So, it's all, they talk to all the staff and do everything with them. And then, of course, we went to the area final thing at Sheffield, and they start reading it out, you think, and she said, this is you. So we got the first one. I remember taking it home, and my husband was working on making a conservatory. He's always making stuff like that. And he hadn't gone.
Yeah.
He didn't come with me to the ceremony, and his comment was, oh, Rose, I don't think they give it to people like you, It's because he's always worked on I think you've got to be a bit more somebody who sucks up to people a bit, which is,
there's a bit in that though.
Which is not very.
But the model, no, you're not like that.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
And so then I come walking up the drive with this big silver thing. He said, oh, okay. Should have gone. So then you get put in to the national thing.
Oh, right.
All the areas have to go, and another load of people come. And this time they said they wanted to do some filming. Oh, and I thought, what a pain. We've got all this, and because you have to, when filming's it never ends, does it? And they want to take things on.
There you are being filmed again.
But not.
It's different.
I have got some work to do.
No, I know.
You have. I know.
I've
You've
always got something to be had. Yeah.
And so then I went to London, and I'd won, and it was like, oh gosh. So the governors and the kids and everybody was going mad.
Yeah.
And it was in the papers and everything. And I remember that the guy, who I can't remember his name now, it was the council's Ofsted.
Yeah.
And I remember being at a table very similar to this in his office, I can't remember what for. And he said, and on the table he'd got the picture with me on the front of the Telegraph. And he said, when Ofsted came, I said to him, oh, this is one of our head teachers, so we can't be that bad, can we? So I thought, oh, all right then. And then things went on, and then suddenly the chairman of Castledyke came to see me and said they were having terrible trouble getting a head teacher. If you've got a challenging school, nobody wants to apply. Nobody, because everyone knows it's absolutely...
Yeah, it's hard. Well, it is hard. It's a hard job anyway, meeting the parents' expectations, meeting the needs of all the regulation, and then, as you say, attracting a team
Staff.
that works with you.
But naughty kids.
Yeah.
Badly behaved kids with special needs. Well, there were a lot there.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get anybody. So would I go for a term? I said, oh, all right then, I'll go for a term. I walked in, I thought, oh, heck. I felt so sorry for the staff.
Yeah.
So sorry for them. They hadn't had a head teacher. They got the deputy was trying to do it. They hadn't had a head teacher, I don't know how long. And the kids, and nobody did anything.
There was a bit of a...
Nobody did anything. And I thought, God, okay, nobody would have this. And so I went for the term, and I tried to sort out the discipline, really.
Yeah.
Which was, so I had to be no, you're not doing that here. We don't do that here. That's not happening.
Yeah.
And some of the parents as well had to be having. I remember a really, because you laugh, but you mustn't laugh when you're there, because it's all a bit of a bluff, We had a really bad lad, and he was really in trouble. I forget what he'd done now, something awful things. He come up, he says, so I'm sat at my desk, and he says, and I'm doing my typing, so I'm ignoring. So he's trying to get my attention, as they do more on. As with toddlers, they just up the game if you don't.
Yeah.
my dad's so-and-so and so-and-so. I won't say the name because somebody might know it. My dad's so-and-so and so-and-so. He was in prison, actually. Oh, yeah. And he'll see that, and he'll come and he'll be sorting you, and he'll do this soon and that. And I'll get my dad. And I said, oh, do you know your dad's telephone number? I said, can you give him a call? Because I really need to speak to him. Well, he was livid. But that, you had to face them up.
Yeah.
And there actually were a lot of staff who were quite afraid of some of them. One person, member of staff, said, they know where I live.
Yeah.
And that's really awful.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely awful.
Yeah.
I said, well, I'm not getting anywhere. And this old member of staff who'd been there forever said, it's different. I thought, oh, why? I said, so how's it different? The know you mean it. So that gave me a bit of heart.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, maybe we can do something. And so then we and the staff we just went woof behind me, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so then when the job came, I had to apply. Yeah. My husband said, you're mad. Why would you leave a really, relatively easy school compared? I said, well, because they just need me. Yeah. And so then, as you know, then it was all hands to the pump all the time and working. And gradually got an excellent team. Yeah. Training. That's the key to all this.
Yeah, you developed everybody.
Training. Everybody knowing what you're wanting to achieve. Everybody buying in to that to help those kids. Because everybody says it's always the same. They've only got one chance. Yeah,
well they have, haven't they? And you just get that small window with them. So how long were you at Castledyke altogether?
I went there in 2002, didn't I?
Yes.
So what is it? What's it now? I retired. It's 8 years ago. So I don't know what the matter.
So long enough.
Oh yeah, it's the longest headship, the longest place I've ever stayed.
Yeah. So. And what would you? So in all of that time, you managed people, you nurtured young people to have, a chance in life, a different chance than probably they would have had. What would you say was your biggest success? What would you say?
I think there were two. We had a sort of a behaviour unit, we called it.
I remember that. And so,
and so lots of head teachers sent us their most difficult children. Yeah. And who couldn't be in classes and were doing all sorts of things. And I would say that the majority of the time we got them into class. Yeah. They went into the classroom. They did their work. And they were able to go back to their schools. Some went back to their schools and went straight back to what they were doing. But I think less children went to special school because of that. And we tried to help schools to understand how you could do it.
How to do it,
But all my staff, every teacher, every TA, they were all trained. Lots of work on behaviour. I used to drive in the morning. I'm thinking, what are we going to do with so and so? Who's available? Where are we going? If somebody was on a course and stuff, that's always tricky. What we're going to do? And we had little things, Somebody would come down, knock on the door. So and so's bubbling. Right, I'll be along in a bit. I said, don't say it. So they'd go back. And then after a bit, I'd get up and start doing one of my wanderings, I'd go in their class, just glance across, and I'd talk to the teacher, and so then I'd walk over to the kid and say, Miss So-and-so, how are we doing this morning? How's so-and-so doing? Well, it's been a bit tricky, but it looks as if he's getting on now. And I'd say, oh, well, that's really good. So when he's done as much as you think he should have done, send him down to me, and then I'll have a look and I can congratulate him for what he's done. And stuff like that, but loads of them.
I've been in your office when really proud children have appeared. And brought you their work and said, look what I brought.
Headteacher stamper.
And you brought them, and So what piece of advice would you give that young girl who'd grown up in that challenging environment and then went on to do a degree and then do a teaching qualification and then go and do your masters and then win a high-level head teacher award. What piece of advice would you give to that little girl who was embarking on... Well, actually, after speaking to that fella who said, some people are not meant for that, what piece of advice would you give to that girl?
I wouldn't say don't listen to people or don't listen to teachers, but you need to know yourself. You need to know when somebody's telling you bullshit.
Yeah.
You need to know. And you should know. I mean, I knew that I could do things that probably he couldn't do.
Yeah.
So you've got to have it's self-confidence. And if I could have given injections on self-confidence to people that I've worked with, I would gladly have done it because I've always tried to encourage them to go one step more than they have. Because you got to look forward. You know, people say, don't they? If you stand still, you're really going backwards.
Yeah, of course you are.
But people are never ever aware of what they're capable of.
No.
You need your leader, your manager, whoever needs to be able to look at you and say, actually, you could do so and so. You could do that. You could do the other.
Well, I think we all have to be aware of that as people, whether we're friends or whether they're people who work for you or whatever. We need to be aware of our impact that we can have on other people and being able to say, you could do this, you could give people confidence. It's a kindness thing. I think nowadays with social media, everyone seems to go to the negative. They love to pile on and say everything's awful. But actually as people, we sometimes need someone who will say, I'm on your side, and I think you'd be good at it, don't you?
Well, people did seem to believe me.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's one of the greatest privileges that somebody trusts you enough to try or to do something that really, in their heart, they don't want to do and they don't want. But because you've said, they will try to follow you.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Buy into it.
Yeah.
That's at all levels. I mean, I just can't fault people. I've had dinner ladies, I've had caretakers, I've had TAs, teachers, and they've done marvellous stuff, become outstanding in all respects. And sometimes they didn't start off like that because at Castledyke we didn't get loads of applicants for jobs.
No.
Sometimes we didn't get any. And sometimes we got people who had not been happy or not done their best stuff at other places. So it was doubly. And sometimes we had to talk with the governors. We had to give people a chance that who maybe wouldn't have been given a chance at another school that had more people. And those people generally came good. And with the right support. Nobody can do anything without training.
No,
nobody can do anything.
Yeah, we all need to be developed. Now we're coming to the end of our podcast journey now. So I usually go the Desert Island Disc route, which is 3. Now you said you're not a great music lover, but you're going on a desert island. That's so. What would you take with you that would be? I mean, their model, of course, is music, but it could be a TV show. It could be a book. It could be. Well,
I am a big reader. Readings is what, and particularly now that I'm in a wheelchair, reading is what. But it's, and I do read some of the classics, but mostly I read murder mysteries.
So what were your 3 favourite books?
I like Lee Child. I like Reacher.
Oh yeah,
all them.
Yeah.
The things on telly's no good. You need to go to the first one. And anything that is a murder mystery, or I'm reading one at the minute, which is called The Snowman. That's a serial killer.
Oh. This is
you
live
read that
release.
one, Craig, and it's hard with it's Norway or somewhere. They've got those long names.
Scandi,
And I do like historical. story, fiction.
Yeah.
So Richard Harris.
Oh yeah.
He's excellent.
Yeah.
He's really one of my favourites. Of course, Bernard Cornwell is the master of them all, the sharp ones and all the rest of it. Those ones.
And a song, you've got to take one song with you. Can you think of one
I don't know.
song?
I'm not into too many songs. I like the Carpenters.
Oh yeah.
And I like Karen Carpenter's voice. So any of those.
Something from the Carpenters.
Would be.
And what would your luxury item be? The thing that you couldn't live without because you were.
Well, I do like cocktails. But I'm not sure that's.
Well, you could take it with you, but I mean, you'd have to.
I'm not sure that's.
You'd have a supply. It might take the edge off because it'd be a bit boring. You've got all those books.
If I I would need something really to. I do now use my tablet a lot.
Yeah.
But as far as luxury, I like luxury food and I like nice drinks and things like that. But I don't think I've got nice perfume. You need nice perfume always, don't you?
Well, maybe a hamper then with some nice drinks and some nice personal care type things.
That might work.
I would take that as your luxury item.
Yeah.
It's been lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, I knew it would be because you are. As I say, I remember the first time I met you, and there were these young people who just came in and trusted you and idolised you. And when people think like that, there's a reason.
Well, thank you for that.
It was a great pleasure, and I thought, who should we have? So this concludes this episode of News Direct, the podcast. It's been my pleasure to be in conversation with Rosie Pugh. If you could like and share the podcast, we're trying to get more people to look at it. It just takes half an hour of my time to just catch up with people who live in North Lincolnshire, who care about the place, who've done great careers. So hopefully you'll join us for the next episode.